Now you're very welcome to today's edition of What Matters programme with myself, John Prendergast, and Lear Media TV with Patsy Peril. Patsy, a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, John.
Patsy, alarming news from Limerick, and what you just stated there to me just now was even more alarming. We're nearing 1,000 cases.
970 cases the CMO reported to our local senator, Paul Gavin, yesterday.
970?
Yeah. Now that is colossal over a period of 2 weeks.
Dear God.
So that's 250,
That's very bad.
It's shocking.
That's close to 500 then in a week.
Anytime we get together here, John, it's bad news.
It is though, it is. Well, you see, the difference with you, Patsy, is when you give bad news, you can back it up. That's the difference.
We are in the situation now of where we were the first day that this broke.
Yes.
And we realised how serious it is.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually in a more dire predicament. Nobody knows what we're doing. Have we got a database for those 1,000 people in 2 weeks? The information that you could glean from that about who got it, what their status was.
Yeah.
You have a database automatic from all age profiles, cohorts, or whatever, right? And juveniles in the school, national school, will be able to put a programme together to see what to do. Give us the true facts, telling us that there's 970 people have contacted COVID in 2 weeks. Zilch, that means nothing to anybody.
No, it doesn't actually, even to me at this stage, because I'm just saying, well, fine, we're still going on.
They won't even debate it.
Yeah.
If they came out and said, right, well now 40% of those were people between 30 and 35. And if told us their background, they were a hurler match. 3 of the people who reckon, who suspected they got it at a hurler match or something like that, you'd know where you are, you would know where to avoid.
Yeah.
The public would be able to use their own brain, and the public actually is better able to use their brain than the people that are supposedly governors.
Well, I think that's very true.
The governors are only self-interested people.
Yes.
The people have had no say in this, only lock them up, throw it away, throw away the key. We don't even have the source of where this disease comes from. We can't believe the people who are telling us, oh, it's Wuhan. They're after crying wolf 10 times.
They are, as we covered it, you and I. You're right. Yes.
So you cannot believe anybody.
Yes.
And CMO telling our rep here, there's 970 caught COVID in the past 2 weeks in the Limerick area.
Yes.
What part of Limerick?
Yeah.
There has to be database.
Yes.
It can be brought. The information that has come out in the last 12 months.
Yes.
With where this was coming from and going and whatever. At this stage, they should have said, right, we're not going to be able to beat it. This is where we are, or this is the best defence of it. We don't know. There has to be a reason of why Limerick has it, and they're down in Galvin. They were sleeping together the whole lot, bunches, and decided the rivers.
Correct.
And they don't seem to have got the same thing at all. So find out where the source is.
There has to be a source.
Where are the danger sources?
Well, I was, there was a proposal or an idea that if the figures continued, there would be a lockdown in certain parts of Limerick City and County. Now, that's not going to work.
Lockdown is probably one of the biggest reasons of why we still have this COVID around. Mm-hmm. It could be as simple as that as well, right?
And you see, the government and NPHET have got to realise one thing. We can all castigate people who are congregating and bursting out and all of that. But I mean, we've had over 14 months of a lockdown in different ways, and people are fed up, frustrated, mentally ill. So with the first sign of any bit of freedom, everyone goes out. Human nature. So stop castigating people.
We've got no results from it, John.
No.
They never learned the lesson from the year and a half. It's heading for a year and a half now.
It is actually, you're right there.
Because a lot of people had precautions. The people that are ahead of the government had taken precautions prior to any mandatory rules coming out.
Correct, yes.
People were taking their own thing. I myself was very frightened from the word go, and still am.
Yes.
And I get no help from the government, what direction to go in.
But you see, I think now and I was just listening to a very good broadcaster there, Katiana, and she was sort of saying the mixed messages going out. We were told from day one by qualified medical people you must have a 2-meter distance between people for non-transmission of this airborne virus. Now they're telling us we can go to 1 meter, and the cases are continuing to rise. So there is a total contradiction here. Because I wash my hands, I wear a mask, which I'm reluctant to because I can hardly breathe with an underlying condition, but I still do it, and I keep 2 meters away like you and I are doing. So like, now they're saying 1 meter is sufficient. The virus is transmitting like wildfire, cases are going up, so it's a total mess.
There is no, if we're dependent on the people who are supposedly leading us, we've lost.
Yes,
the game
I'm
is
afraid
over.
you're right. I mean, I'm getting very distrustful of what I'm hearing.
The game is over. We should automatically know how many of these people who have got it. There's a brilliant example of where we can go forward.
Yeah.
How many of those people who have got this, and I'm presuming, right, and I put money on it though, that a lot of the people, but they won't tell us the percentage.
Yeah.
Was it 10 people? Was it 20% of the people? Is it 50% of the people?
Yeah.
Of over that 1,000 in the last 2 weeks who caught COVID in Limerick, how many of those people have been vaccinated?
Good point.
They're supposed to be tracing them, whatever, right?
Yes.
Here's their chance to trace that.
Yeah.
If they can tell me that nobody that was vaccinated caught it, we'd know something.
Yeah.
You know, if they said I would know, and everybody else would know, that this vaccination is working.
But you see the
Well,
point.
you know, we could surmise it and we'd be 100% right.
Yeah, but the point is this: we have Paul Reid. I don't know the man of HSE, and he's expounding the wonderful data and the wonderful news that we've turned the corner, we've turned the milestone. Over 1 million people have now been vaccinated, or near 2 million people have the first vaccine, and that sort of thing. But yet, the cases are going up.
Well, telling us that is lovely, but tell us how effective it is.
There's the point. That's the word.
The word effective.
Yeah.
It there, right? And the other word there, right? Etology, I-T-E-L-O-G-Y, and that is the source of an infection or a virus.
Yes.
Beginning of it. Where was it? Who was person number 1? Or even tell me who was animal number 1.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Is it zoonotic or it's not?
Yeah.
You know? And I am saying there's a lot of candidates of sources for this. And one of those is the sea. There's a war going on at sea, whether people know it or not. And the EU are involved in it. And this is what our fishery boats and things are doing, coming up and down. There is a problem at sea with fish. Have we got enough fish left to continue it as a source? We're now in trouble with the seas, the high seas especially, right?
Yes.
And we have the role of the EU. We even have ambassadors going to United Nations meetings, all in the QT, right? Keeping all this quiet about the crisis that is there. And an MEP, Catherine Chabot, French or whatever, on the EU auspices, held a webinar last April.
Yes.
Online, of which I was at.
You were.
I
you
attended
that.
at
Yes.
that, right? And the serious stuff that's inside in that says our high seas are in jeopardy. Ocean science, I'm quoting here now, right?
Yes.
From one little paragraph. Ocean science diplomacy is increasingly important for ocean governance. That's quote as a management of the sea. The integration between science and diplomacy is critical when addressing policy issues that are global of their nature and imperatively science-based. We're in trouble there, right? Because the EU has this as a top priority,
Yes, okay.
you know, of the management of the
seas,
oceans.
of the
And
oceans.
is it going to continue to be a source of food which can be governed by UN and the FDA and all those
All of
authorities,
those.
right? Because they now find out that they have no product.
Now that's the point. That's the very
Scarcity
critical
of fish,
point as well.
fish wiped out.
So what you're saying is now there's appearance of a scarcity of fish.
There is, yeah, and there's no guarantee of sustainability.
So would that be the cause would the cause of that, Patsy, be overfishing? Too many huge vessels on our oceans?
We have the capability of wiping out the ocean if the present catching capacity went into action of at least, it hardly last 3 months. If all the boats were allowed to have a free,
Yes.
an Olympic run at it, right?
Yeah.
Be gone in 3 months.
Dear God.
So the quotas and the fighting that's going on in this country, there's jockeying for position, because there has been a huge transformation on the production of the sea for food. It's no longer a wild source as such. It's now has tilted below the 50%
See.
supply. West Africa is wiped out, and the fishermen out there in their thousands can't catch fish along their coast because the big boats came in and took away the fish. And to the point, to focus on the point that I'm trying to make is that they're putting them into aquaculture, artificial fish farms, feeding them with wild fish, and it's a ratio of a loss of 5 wild fish to create a hatchery fish. But what you're actually creating in a hatchery fish is some oligarch with millions in shares somewhere in imaginary companies,
Yes.
making billions.
But is there...
The food has been taken over,
Yes.
hijacked.
Hijacked is a
And
good
we
word.
are in the same position here. We have no control over. People here think that, oh, we have a safe food authority in the whole lot, and that think that the food is safe to eat and everything, and that we have a plentiful supply of it. It's in the hands of the IFA. The IFA and the aquaculture. The aquaculture and the IFA is one in the same body,
Yes.
right? And they're marketing the food, and they have people sitting on board beer and whatever, right? And these poor trawlermen that are trying to starve the people out. The fish are not going to go to the people. If our trawlers are allowed to catch what they want to catch,
Yes.
which is everything,
Yeah.
it's going to be of no benefit to the public. Because what has happened to us since we joined the EU? Some people don't even know what a fish is. They never saw a fish in the place.
Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, you've really...
They can't afford it.
No, but the point... But you know what, actually, affordability? Fish is a crazy price to buy fish. Whether it's frozen or in a pack. It's crazy price. So I certainly... So what the point of today's interview then, Patsy, is we have a crisis at sea and we're not being told it.
Exactly. And China is dealing with it. America's dealing with it.
Yeah.
No. I told you about this meeting. I was at the seminar of a EU
Yes.
top level, right? I was also, for the last 8 to 10 days,
You were?
and the last 3 to 4 days, intensively involved in the North Atlantic Salmon Conservation Organisation, which again has EU delegates and government input in it. And they have taken and lent for the source of food into the aquaculture sources, because that's where the money is, and that's where they're getting their backhanders from. The
Oh my
people running
God.
the
So there's
water.
corruption there as well.
High, low, and anywhere at all you look, John, it's corruption.
God almighty.
And part of what is happening as far as or supposedly fish is here is concerned, it's been done on behalf of aquaculture people,
Yes.
IFA, right, and the aquaculture, and people put forward getting paid for to destroy this country. That's because that's what's going to happen. If you lose your natural resources,
Yes.
you have nothing. We don't have our
gone.
oil, we don't have our gas.
We lost our sugar industry.
Yeah, and this fish now was supposed to have been given to the to Europe,
Yes.
because of the IFA. No, the IFA took over the fisheries here,
Yes, I see.
nicely and quietly. A reverse camouflage trick is what they carried out. Our people are in the highest and most influential jobs in the EU that would surprise you. We have guys in offices, right, and in positions of power, controlling fish and things. They never had it so good. The people with the big trawler boats. There's 200 of those around, right? But there's 2,500 of the smaller boats. You know, and then they're supposed to be given great employment in the whole lot.
It's a cover.
Your first qualification is you have to be good at Swahili.
It's a cover up.
Totally and absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But you know, it's the Irish people again and the ordinary European citizen that's actually been hoodwinked again. So what's going to happen basically if we can't eat the natural fish and we're going to eat the hatched farmer fish?
Yeah. We'll be back to where I am saying, John. You'll be at square one. Because COVID-2, SARS and MERS is around since 1981-82. The chicken flu's back again last week.
I saw that
the
actually.
HNI1.
Yeah.
You know? So we've seen nothing yet of where this is going. It's coming from food. Right? The HNI chicken thing, that's where that's coming from.
It's coming from food.
Right. You know, and the powers that be, they'd rather blame a bat than blame a chicken.
Of course.
You see?
Easy one, easy pickings.
That's the way they're working it.
But Patsy, we'll be coming back to this on next Wednesday or Thursday for a specific reason. Now, I know that is this area of the fishing industry, is this becoming a topic on a programme next week, or is that later?
Now, there is RTE have a programme I've know of coming up next Tuesday, prime time.
Yes.
Tuesday evening.
Yes.
In which I may or may not myself participate in.
Okay.
But I will have part of what's going on at it.
I see. Very good.
You know?
Well, we need you there.
And I'll come back to you, John, with first-hand account of that.
Well, we will.
There'll be no lies told to you.
No, there haven't been, because everything that you have said since we started our programme series with you has been absolutely factual.
Yeah. There's one item, John, if you're not rushing away, right? Patagonia, Chile.
Yes.
Here's the big one again. Everything.
I'll tell you what we do.
Stop now, we'll repeat it.
No. We'll just take a very quick break and we'll come back with part 2. Join us shortly.